This episode, I want to share with you guys tips or things to note before your next doctor's appointment, regardless of what procedure you might be going for the next time you're going to see a doctor or before you're going to a hospital. Number one is try to note the name of the medication you have taken in the past. Write them down, do some research, try to recall. Your friends or family that must have seen you take the medication. If you cannot remember the name, try to talk to them. Do you guys remember the medication? Try to write them down. Yes, I know it could be tricky to remember. This information will actually help your doctors in your next, when they want to prescribe the next medication for you. So try to note the names of the medication you've taken in the past, the medication you're on right now, the medical side effects. Try to communicate that with your doctors. So apart from taking note of the medication you've taken in the past or the ones you're currently taking, try to remember the family history. It is very important to know your family history. Know what your mom, your dad, doesn't matter if they're close relative or members. Try to remember the diseases or whatever they have. As everything, genetics is very powerful. Our genes are powerful. There are things that actually trickle down from many generations down to us. So noting down the family history will actually help your doctor with your next diagnosis or with your next doctor appointment, regardless if you're going for a prostate test, if you're going for blood works, whatever it is. Another thing, guys, to note is before your next doctor's appointment, try your best to know the procedure you might be going for. Yes, it might be very tricky to note or to know what it is, especially if it's your first appointment. I would always advise patients before you go in, especially if you're going for something that deals with your GI, you want to ask you to do some blood works. So try not to eat before your next doctor's appointment. You can eat a night before, but the same day when you're going for your next doctor's appointment, try to go with an empty stomach. The reason is because they might want to do some procedures that might actually contraindicate, and some blood works might actually contraindicate with the food that you must have eaten. So try your best, not to eat before going. But if they ask you to take some medicine at the doctor's office, just communicate with the nurse or to the healthcare professional that you haven't eaten yet. They may ask you to chew a banana or to eat something, but at least they ask you to eat, and not just to wait for some days or being asked to come back before you can do some tests because you ate before. So going with an empty stomach is actually a good advice, or it's actually a good tips in case they want to order some blood works or some things that might actually contraindicate with food. Another thing to note, guys, is whenever you're in front of your doctor or your nurses or your healthcare professionals, most people do feel intimidated when they're in front of doctors or healthcare professionals because they don't want to sound like they're not book smart or whatever it is. The thing is, this is your body, is your health. You have to ask questions. Even also with healthcare professionals, sometimes when we're caught up in things like this, when it comes to our body, we still have to ask questions even though we know the answer. But we want to ask more, we want to inquire more, just to make sure doctors, they're actually, as I said, they're human beings, but they're prone to make errors. So ask questions. Play about the procedure you're going for or whatever lab works or blood works they're ordering for you. If you're not please just ask questions. It's okay to ask questions. You're paying the money anyways, or your insurance company is paying. So please ask questions, make assumptions, especially when it's your body. Another thing, guys, to note is before you go for your next doctor's appointment, try to take note of what your doctors or nurses are telling you. Try to remember names of people that tell you that. So if Dr. A spoke to you and Dr. B says something that is contradicting to what Dr. A said, try to remember names. The reason is not because you want to sue anybody, but the reason is just because of the fact that you're actually keeping track of things, just to make sure that you're not misdiagnosed. Yes, I come into research, a lot of patients or people are misdiagnosed. And you're dealing with doctors and nurses or whatever, healthcare professionals, we don't our stuff, but at the same time, we're humans, we're prone to errors. And even though we enter information into medical record or into computers, sometimes we might forget to tap in some information that are vital because we're human, we're prone to errors. So try to have your own written information about procedures, about medication, about whatever it is that your doctor or nurses tell you to do, or they tell you they're doing on you, whatever it is. With that said, I hope you enjoy your next doctor's appointment. Just relax, drink water, and just go with positivity. According to science, it's always good to be optimistic and not pessimistic, regardless of what the prognosis of your disease or condition is. If you're very optimistic, you're gonna get through it. Regardless, as I said, regardless of what the prognosis is, you are going to overcome the diagnosis and you're gonna be better. So with that said, these are the tips I have for you, and I wish you a good time. And do not forget to like, subscribe to my channel, and leave a comment below. I love you guys. Bye bye.